Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon, Saturday night edition. Guys, if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or upload another video. And tonight we're going to be talking about the horrific tornadoes that broke out in Mayfield, Kentucky, and 5 total states were affected. We watched Twyla Cisco from Tennessee last night. She came on and joined us, and it was windy and things were blowing around. Total devastation. Over 70 folks lost their lives and perished in the acts of Mother Nature overnight in the Kentucky area. So my heart and my prayers go out to the folks in Kentucky. Just complete and utter devastation. I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who positively interact in all of these live streams. You guys are an instrumental part of this community, and I greatly appreciate you. Special thank you to the moderators checking in. Diane B. from across the street, Fuzzy Doxy, Connie is here, Just Another Mother, Brandy, Carol, Holloway, thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Tina Wright, I see a bunch of people hanging out in the chat. Before we got started, I was watching the chat. I had a little bit of connectivity issues with my microphone. So if you guys don't mind, please share this video out. By a show of hands, who has not seen the coverage? If you're outside of the United States area, I'm sure that there's kind of limited coverage on this, but just by a show of hands, how many folks here has seen the brutal coverage? And it's so close to Christmas time. In a few short weeks, we'll be celebrating the Christmas and New Year holiday with our families. Then there's probably tens of thousands of people who are homeless now in the wake of this devastating tornado and extreme weather activity. So we have to say special prayers and thanks. And I'm going to be looking for ways that I can donate to the folks who are devastated and affected by this. Lewis March says, I live in Kentucky. If you are in the state of Kentucky or any of the other 4 states, I think it's Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, and I might have left out another state. I think there's a 5th state. But let's watch the footage here from ABC News. This is a special report, and it is pretty up to date. It's not current up to date, but it's very close to it. Thank you, Chris, from First to Deploy. We're going to see a ton of drone footage. Speaking of First to Deploy, that's my good friend, Chris. He is in the state of Tennessee. I had a long conversation with him today. I think I said, Alabama, Arkansas. Thank you for that. So I had a conversation with Chris. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, God bless the victims of this devastating event. We're going to see a ton of drone footage. I watched about an hour's worth of drone footage of the devastation. We're going to play a little bit of that for you guys here. For those of you who are outside of the listening area, I'm going to share this screen with you. And we're going to watch about 10 minutes, not even 10 or so minutes of some news coverage. So let's get right into it. Let me take that off the screen. Hold on. All right. Let me hide that. And let's get it full screen and we'll watch. This is from a special news report from just a few hours ago.
Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff. We are coming on the air right now to bring you the latest on the storm reports that continue to pour in from across this country. 22 tornadoes have been reported across 6 states so far. Tornado warnings are still in effect right now north of Nashville in Tennessee and in parts of Kentucky. That state, unfortunately, now reporting at least 70 dead from a devastating tornado outbreak in western Kentucky. These pictures are dramatic and difficult to look at. The preliminary reports of the primary tornado there on the ground for more than 200 miles. At least 3 others died in severe weather in Tennessee, and there is, at this time, 1 person confirmed to have lost their life when a tornado went through an Arkansas nursing home. Kathy Onan, mayor of Mayfield, Kentucky, joins us now on the phone. Kathy, can you hear me?
Yes, Phil, I can.
Okay, first of all, I just have to say before we get into the particulars of what's going on there, our hearts and thoughts are with you and your entire city, because we know Mayfield there was hit so incredibly hard, and in the overnight hours is probably the worst time for this to happen. How are you doing? How are your people doing who are out there, who've been rescuing people all night long?
My people are doing extremely well, Phil. There's nothing that touches your heart more than a first responder hard at work. And we not only have first responders from our city and our county and Western Kentucky counties, but they are here from as far away as Louisville, Kentucky, and have been here since before dawn. And we are so blessed to have them here with us.
Yeah, this needs to be one of those all hands on deck, everybody helping out, because what we're looking at right now, I'm not sure if you can see it, is devastation from block to block. We know there was a factory there that was hit particularly hard, but this tornado destroyed everything in its path. Do you know the extent of the damage yet in Mayfield?
I do not. I have been out to the MCP, the candle factory, which is the point of our greatest loss of life that we know now. I have no numbers for you there. It was, of course, a night shift. This hit us about, I'm going to say around 9:30 last night. And so this company ships candles internationally, and I think they were getting ready, for big Christmas shipments. And so the devastation there is horrendous. And I was just out there probably an hour ago. The governor, the judge executive, and I and other local officials were there. And the effort, we hope, is still a rescue effort, but more than likely now it is a primarily recovery effort.
It's hard to hear. Mayor, your governor has said that at least 70 people are dead. Loss of life could go up to around 100. When you were out there at the factory, describe for me, if you can. And I know I've seen one of the worst tornadoes to hit this country was in Moore, Oklahoma back in '99, and I was there for that. I know what the devastation looks like, but it's hard to explain to people. Tell me, please, what it is you witnessed out there at the factory.
At the factory, which is so much metal and steel in that construction, that it looks as if it is just a bomb has gone off. And you hear that all the time, but unless you are standing in front of it, it doesn't really hit you. Our city...
I just want to remind you guys that this is a metal factory, this Mayfield candle factory. It was all constructed of all metal, and there was overnight workers there. She said it looks like a bomb went off, and that's what we're looking at here. Just total devastation of what Mother Nature can do. So it is just horrific, but I felt it was necessary to come on and bring you guys this. Again, we need to support all the folks, but especially here in Mayfield, Kentucky. This is a totally wiped out, devastated community right at the Christmas holiday. So sorry.
Hall, which houses not only the city government offices, but our police department and our fire department, which is one of our stations is right there at that campus. They are both completely destroyed. And when the sun began to come up this morning and I walked out to view the city, all I could think of was matchsticks. It looks like matchsticks. Our buildings are destroyed. My church is destroyed. Our downtown churches are destroyed. We have no water here. Our water supply has been compromised. There is no electricity within the city. There are parts within our county that do have some electricity, and so we're trying our best to get those who have lost their homes into shelters there. Churches have opened up their buildings for us there, and so we have 2 local school systems, which are wonderful, and they are busing people out there. We have received, even though our water source is compromised, we have pallets and pallets and pallets of water. Every type, I've heard from so many mayors all over the state, every type of aid that you can think that we need immediately is pouring into our small community.
Absolutely. You're on the southwestern corner of the state near Tennessee, and we know that was obviously right in the path of the tornado. I would expect mayors from all across, as you said, are going to be sending people your way. You talk about matchsticks, and people will say a tornado sounds, like a train was coming and the devastation was horrific. And everybody says the same thing, because this kind of devastation is just that. Things that defy logic. You're turning around and looking at cars tossed up on top of buildings and trucks thrown everywhere. And people hear that. But when you see it and when you're standing in it, it doesn't feel like anything you've experienced in this country, because people say it does feel like a war zone. Everywhere you look, there's no power, there's no water, there are no buildings left standing. What's the population of Mayfield?
Our population is just under 10,000 after the last census.
All right. And so where are you housing? You said there are a couple schools and you're busing people, but what's the process right now as the sun has come up to get people to safety?
Well, we have an emergency operations center set up, and I don't have that number right in front of me, but people can call here and they can be told where to go for food and shelter and water. Immediately, the Mayfield City High School opened last night. We had many people in the basement at City Hall sheltering in place there. We had many people in the bays of our fire department sheltering there. And as soon as we could, one of the big problems was getting through the streets. A policeman came to pick me up to get me to City Hall, and we backtracked all over the place because power lines were down and poles were down, and just everything was through flying about, but it was just very difficult to get there. So as soon as the buses could safely get there, they began busing the people to the City High School, and now they have been utilized to bus.
Just so you know, the footage that we're showing here, that the news is showing, is drone footage. This is courtesy of a drone. You couldn't fly, you probably could do helicopter flights, but this is drone footage coming in from drone operators like Chris Starnes and Gene Robinson. You guys, this is where it comes in, invaluable. Denise Spalding, thank you for that generous super chat, $100. She says, thank you, DutyRon, for doing what you do and being so dedicated to your channel. You're a very extraordinary person, blessed to have found your channel. And Denise, the feelings are mutual. I am in turn blessed to have great subscribers, great friends like yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everybody who comes and participates in all of these live chats. It's greatly appreciated, guys.
Them into smaller communities out in the outlying county.
Talk about defying logic. We're looking at some of the video right now, and there are blocks and areas completely decimated, and then a couple of houses standing just across the street. Go ahead.
I live about 4 or 5 blocks from City Hall, and of course I was in my basement.
I mean, look at this house. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's devastating just to see this. We're sitting in the comforts of our own homes, and I'm seeing some of the folks here are affected in certain ways. Like Kellen, she says that the trees are down, power lines down, people without power. I saw somebody here in the chat say that part of their roof fell in. I believe it was a single mom. She says, my ceiling caved in a bit, but I'm getting it fixed Monday. You see, that's a comment right there that shows how not selfish people are. We're just thankful. Even if part of your roof is caved in, or if you're getting water, if you have no power, look at what's on the screen right now. This is a house in the left corner of your screen. That's a house. That was a house. And everything inside there. We're all set up, most of us, for Christmas time. This is total devastation. And I felt that I had to come live and speak about this tonight and show you guys what people are going through in the Midwest, in Kentucky. This is Mayfield, Kentucky, what we're looking at right now.
And I heard the train, which I hope I never hear again. But when that subsided, I realized my house, I didn't hear glass breaking. I didn't hear anything. And for maybe 5 minutes, I thought, oh, thank you, Lord, we've escaped this. And then I began getting the calls from the police chiefs and the fire chief.
Okay. Kick and Can says, how can we help? I am going to link in the description There's got to be a Red Cross donation. I know how the Red Cross works because I've worked with them many times in natural disasters. They were down at the World Trade Center when we had the terrible attack on our country. Red Cross is probably first to respond to a disaster like this. This is a natural disaster, Mother Nature. So I'm going to look for a verified, bona fide location to donate to, and I will generate a donation from Crime Time with DutyRon to the folks in the most affected area, which is Mayfield, Kentucky, the most devastation. Now, I'm not saying that there's not devastation in other places, but we are going to look to support these folks and, do what we can to get support and fundage to them. So I'm going to link that down below in the comment section in the description.
And realize no, but I'm just being 5 blocks from there, and we just drove by that down that. It's a main street of town, and it's just amazing.
These are people's homes. These are families that could potentially have been lost in this, or now have nowhere to go back to. And we have to understand that this is something we're seeing on the TV, but these are people who are there and have nothing to come home to. There's cars that have been kicked around like they're a piece of paper. So let me let the rest of this roll. Hold on a second. Let me let the rest of this footage roll.
And it's what everything you hear about when these devastations hit all over the United States. 5 blocks away, my house stands perfectly still. All I have is no power and no water. And then 5 blocks away, we lost our entire city government center.
My goodness, Mayor. I'm wondering, you're getting help from the state, obviously. Do you know if and when you might get any help from the government? Has anybody reached out to you, or are we still too soon?
Yes. Well, the governor was here. Governor Brashear was here. We were his stop before he went on to the town where he grew up, even a smaller town than us. And he was obviously moved here, and then really scared about what he would find when he went on to the little town of Dolphin Springs. The National Guard has arrived. We know we have feet on the ground from Frankfurt, our capital city, and we know that Governor Brashear has been in contact with the White House, and that this area has been declared a disaster center. So we are expecting help and are getting it locally very, very quickly. But we know that nationally and statewide is soon to follow.
Yeah, and when we've seen tornadoes this size, it's not days and weeks, it's months and sometimes even a year plus for the recovery, because the devastation is just so widespread. Mayor, I know you have a lot to do today. I just want to quickly get in for those who are watching and maybe missing loved ones right now, still looking for somebody, not understanding what part of what area has been devastated.
This is a look at businesses, churches, just devastating. Jen Lowe, thank you for putting the link into the Red Cross. You can't go wrong with that link. If you want to do something, if you want to donate even $5, donate to that location there. I'm going to try to pin that if I can and put that pin that in the chat. Let me see if I can do that. Stand by. Let me see if I can pin that. Jen, could you put that up again? Because I gotta scroll too far back in the feed to pin that. If you could just if you could copy and paste that again, and I'll pin it quickly. Jen Lowe or anybody. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. All right, so there it is, pinned in the chat. Let's let the rest of this play.
What would you say to folks in and around your town who are looking to find someone for the rest of today?
I'm at the Emergency Operating Center, but I was with the governor at the candle factory, so I wasn't here to hear that part. I would tell them I don't have the number for the Emergency Operating Center, but we do have a church, the Catalyst Church, that is located on the north side of town, and they are kind of serving as a clearinghouse, I know, for the volunteers, so they might be able to help people in that capacity as well.
All right. Mayor Kathy Onan, Mayfield, Kentucky, one of what we understand right now, one of the hardest towns hit overnight. The damages and the loss of life is devastating. We know you have a lot to do today. We want you to be safe. We want all your folks to be safe. And best of luck to you. We'll check in with you.
Thank you. We are a strong people. We don't agree all the time, but when disaster comes knocking on our door, we work together, and that's exactly what began at 10 o'clock last night.
Well, the nation's going to be watching, and everybody is with you for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much.
All right, Mayor, thanks so much.
What a strong, powerful woman that is right there. That mayor of Maysville, Mayfield, what a powerful woman. Kudos to her. I'd love to give her a big hug and a handshake. She's handling this like a champ. So God bless her, and God bless all the people affected by this horrific set of events of Mother Nature. Somebody said it really well in the chat. It said, she said, tornadoes do not discriminate. Mother Nature does not discriminate. That's for sure. So let's let the rest of this play.
All right, so that was Mayor Kathy Onan from Mayfield, Kentucky. You heard her talk. There's a church on the north side of town where they are gathering, and people are looking for folks. But she said those words you hate to hear in the immediate aftermath of devastation like this. That it's more of a recovery effort at this time. There is a factory there where there were a lot of people working a night shift when this massive tornado hit, and it doesn't seem like they had time to get out of the way. The video you're looking at on the right side of your screen is utter devastation from block to block. You'll see some houses standing. Tornadoes don't make sense when they tear through any part of any town. Look, you see there on the left side of your screen, houses are standing. There are probably still beds made in those houses, yet everything to the right side of the screen is devastated. And that's that's really the terrifying part.
I mean, we keep looking at this this redundant drone footage, and I got to tell you, each time I look at this, and as this news reporter is saying, some of those houses are not touched. If you look here in the upper right hand corner, there's a row of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 houses right up here where my cursor is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses that I could just see in this little piece of frame that are totally untouched. Again, it's just, there's going to be a lot of people sleeping, and these neighbors, I'm sure, will all come together and have people sleeping in their homes. The houses that we see that are completely devastated there. If those people survive that, they will be, look, you have an 18-wheeler. This is a tractor trailer right here. I don't know if you guys could see this. Right above this ABC News Live, there's a white object that's up along the house. By a show of hands, hopefully you guys could see this. This is a complete trailer, an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, not the truck, the trailer just blew up against this house right here. So just an unbelievable devastation that we're seeing.
About tornadoes. Yeah. Okay. So listen, we have Elwin Lopez, who's been there on the ground for us all night and has filed reports for Good Morning America and has one for us now. Elwin.
Hey, Phil, complete devastation wherever you look. Take a look at this. This used to be a church. Now it's reduced to piles of debris. And that's what we've been seeing block after block. You just see complete destruction anywhere you look. And take a look at people here who are coming out this morning to check out what is left behind of their community after those tornadoes struck this area. We know that one tornado was on the ground for reportedly more than 200 miles. I spoke to one woman. She says she's lived here for 67 years and she hasn't seen anything like this before. She said some of the structures are unrecognizable right now. We saw a woman as we were moving into this area this morning, and she said that she was looking for her 70-year-old aunt. I spoke to her a few hours ago, and she said that unfortunately a rescue team, recovery team found her aunt, and she did not survive. But it just shows you what so many families are going through this morning, looking for their loved ones. some of them missing. We talked to officials here who said that they don't have numbers right now as to how many fatalities they'll be seeing today. Phil.
Thank you. Heartbreaking and devastating, but so important for Elwyn to continue to bring us these pictures so that the nation can see just how bad this is and then help in any way they can. The White House has just weighed in on this. You heard the mayor say that she knows her governor, Beshear, talked to President Biden, but now we're getting confirmation from the White House. I just want to bring you what we just got. President Biden spoke to Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear this morning. The White House says to express his condolences for the lives lost and the devastation to the state caused by the deadly weather overnight, according to, this was a readout of a call provided to us by the White House. And they say the president indicated that he has directed FEMA and other federal agencies to provide the speediest assistance possible to impacted communities. We're told the White House and President Biden continue to remain and will remain in touch with Governor Beshear and as this goes on. And as I said, these things aren't, it's going to be days, like when we have a bad blizzard or we have a hurricane sometimes. Tornado damage is utterly devastating. And don't take my word for it. Just look at the pictures on your screen. This is Mayfield, Kentucky, one of the hardest hit areas where a candle factory went down, at 9 o'clock at night when the overnight shift was working. And there's a lot of loss of life there. The mayor says she doesn't know how many people, but her governor has told us he expects at least 70 right now and up to 100 people may be dead in Kentucky. And really, they're estimating right now, this is just the beginning. I mean, this happened over.
Yeah, I want to say that I'm just going to put myself back on for a second. I'm going to say this. I don't want to say it, but I have to. The loss of life is going to be way over 70, and it's unfortunate but true. If you look at that devastation that we just looked at, and granted, a lot of it is on a loop for this 16-minute news news report, but tomorrow morning. With the updates and as the days go on, this is going to take days. This is not a small operation. You're talking 200 miles of devastation. This could take weeks for them to go through every structure and every piece of debris. And you got to realize, under every piece of wood and every piece of property, every piece of debris could be, God forbid, human remains. So my heart breaks for the middle of the country and everyone affected in all states, not just Kentucky, all 5 states that are impacted. And it probably goes well beyond 5 states. So let me let the rest of this play, but I just had to say that, it's just heartbreaking. Smitty, thank you for the $5 super chat. And Smitty says, thanks for the support. I'm in Missouri. I had to ditch your show to take cover last night. At one point, my house went boom. Scary. Smitty, if you want to call in, you want to come in and talk, I don't know if you're able to do it. I'll share the link with you and you can come in and you could give us a little bit of play-by-play if you'd like. But thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm glad that you're okay. Let's let the rest of this play.
Night, when it is the scariest time for a tornado to hit overnight, because you can't see where things are going and what's happening. Then the sun rises and you see pictures like this, and everybody has to kind of get their head around what kind of damage there is. And is their house standing? Is their neighbor's house standing? Are their family members accounted for? And that's what's going on right now. So 70 to 100 people in Kentucky, that's what the governor's estimating. Hopefully it will. I mean, it's an horrific number, but hopefully it won't go over that, because they are going to have to tear through all of these areas, these pockets where they can't get to. You heard the mayor say when she was picked up this morning by a police officer, they had to backtrack. They couldn't get to where they were going straight. And that's another problem in the aftermath of tornadoes. So many areas are blocked and you have to find alternate ways to go. So this is going to be a long haul. We are certainly in it with the folks in those 6 states that were hit. We're going to be covering this. We have many crews on the ground that will be bringing you all the information on World News tonight, Good Morning America tomorrow. And we will, of course, have coverage here on ABC News Live streaming for you.
So that's it from from this news report. I have a ton of other coverage to show you guys. So again, I appreciate everybody in the chat sending prayers, positive vibes, and strength to all of the people affected by this horrific string of hurricanes. They talk about 22 reported, confirmed at this point, 22 individual tornadoes touching down. These tornadoes, in some cases, covered over 200 miles of devastation. It's just mind-boggling to think of it. It really is, folks. My head is spinning. When I was preparing for this live stream, I just couldn't get over what they were talking about. I have the Kentucky governor. It's a long news conference, but I'll let you listen to just a little bit of it. Let me see if the volume is good on this. This one's kind of low.
For what you've done for our people.
Let me know by a show of hands if you guys can hear the volume on this good, because I can't hear it well
I know
on
the
my
efforts
end.
that you've put
Let
in.
me know if you can hear the governor
when you were out
speaking.
there, especially in the first part of it, it was incredibly dangerous to you. We have seen people come together from all over the state, all over the country. You guys hear this okay? Federal partners like ATF. We had the Coast Guard down in Mayfield, and then we are seeing people come in from other states and other regions. I just want everybody to know that you are not alone. Today, Kentucky is absolutely united. We are united with our people. We are united to find and rescue as many as possible. We are united to grieve with, I think, over 100 families that will have lost individuals. And we are united to be here for those families and this and every other impacted community, not just today and this week, but in the coming years. Found alive in it. A downtown completely devastated.
Okay, so I heard that we muted the sound is off. All right. Basically, he goes over 38 minutes of some of the devastation, and it's just the conversation. I'm going to find something a little bit better because the audio is cutting out on the feed actually, because I listened to this through. So I'll stop it there. That was 2 minutes of the Kentucky governor. I want to play some drone footage, more drone footage from CNN. Not one of my favorite news reporting agencies, but it doesn't matter at this point. I want to just
devastation in Mayfield, Kentucky, after a tornado ripped through that town of about 10,000 people. And Brandon Clement is a storm chaser who captured this video, and he's joining me right now on the phone. So, Brandon, as we look at these pictures, I mean, it looks like just a giant steamroller just came on through, knocking down everything in its path except for a couple of resilient buildings there, right there. This looks like a historic brick building that we're looking at right here, and your drone footage captures it. So, tell me about your experience along the way, as you were also able to capture these images.
Well, I started off in Arkansas and waited for the tornado to come up towards the I-55 corridor. I knew it was going to be fast moving, and it was going through some pretty rural areas of Arkansas. Once it crossed over the I-55, Interstate 55, just along the Arkansas-Missouri line, it crossed over about 300 yards in front of me, through a bunch of 18-wheelers and semis and a couple different roads right there. It cuts over and crosses the river into Tennessee, and then came up. I went down into Arkansas and went to Leachville, and unfortunately, there was a fatality there. I talked to several people, a lot of destruction there, and made my way up into the Kentucky area. But when I got to Mayfield, it was just it's no comparison to what I'd seen so far in the path. It's complete destruction, and I mean I see 50 to 100 tornado paths a year, and this is a top 2 or 3 in the last decade.
Amazing footage right there. I got to tell you, I couldn't believe
the science here is very solid. The intergovernmental panel.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I started researching for this stuff, and you know, that drone footage was just devastating. And you know, the Amazon warehouse in Missouri, it is, the roof is completely off. I was only able to find still pictures of it. So if somebody has a video footage of that Amazon warehouse, send it to me on Discord or on Twitter or on one of my social medias. Just DM me the link and then I'll play it. Here's some raw footage from somebody inside or like outside the back of their home. And this is raw footage. It's not great footage, but I want you guys to take a peek at it. It's actually a combination of on the road in a car and also outside the back of a home. So I'm going to play this for you. It's not completely what I would play or what, but again, it's raw footage from, try to make it big, full screen, but I don't think I can. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, I can. All right, cool. All right, let's look at this quickly before I wrap it up. Let me give you this full screen. And that's before and then after. This is the candle factory. And that's after. So, terrible, right? Oh. It's just devastating to see that. I'm just going to look through this Twitter feed here quick. So this is showing the quad state tornadic supercell. So this is some pretty interesting information. It's showing the locations of the tornadoes as they touch down, which to me is pretty fascinating. I look at this stuff and I say, wow, it gives you a pretty good overview of the amount of tornadoes. And it looked like it started at 5:52 p.m. Central Standard Time, actually 4 o'clock, and then 5:03 and 5:52. So here's the chain of events that took off, and it shows all the states. So this is some pretty interesting information right here. So it is. It's just unbelievable. So I'm going to come back on. By a show of hands, how many people here in the chat have had some effect by these tornadoes in the Midwest here? How many people have lost power or have, had adverse weather as a result of this? There has to be a decent amount of people here in the chat that have experienced either some type of rain or wind event or something even more serious. I got a couple of other things saved. I just want to see by a show of hand. Kentucky girl, she says, I'm in Kentucky. Yes, Kentucky girl. I hope you're okay. Sending you a lot of prayers, strength, and positive vibes. Single mom of 4, I love you too, and I'm glad that you're okay. I know that you said you had problems with the roof, as we call it here in New York, the roof. I hope your roof gets repaired quickly. I'm going to show you another account. This is the guy, Brandon Clement. So I'm going to show you his account, his Twitter account. Connie says she's in Arkansas and she got affected. April is putting up some prayer emojis. TCE says, I'm in Kentucky, looking out the window. 3:30 this morning, the wind and rain hit here. I live in Kentucky, says Laura. Hedrick. Brent Montgomery is putting a wow up in the chat. Nancy is telling us about her. Years ago, a funnel cloud was in the sky a long time ago, but it was scary. I bet. Bella Zoe, Kentucky here, Liberty, Kentucky, sending out prayers and positive vibes to all affected. Puddingtain says, yes, Missouri. All right, we're going to look for the Amazon factory. But let me just go through this. This guy, Brandon Clement, he's the one who gave this drone footage that we looked at. This is some of his drone footage. Let me take it off. Let me take these comments off the screen. So here's some devastation in Kentucky. And if this doesn't move you, this is total obliteration. I mean, this place is in ruins right here. There's no audio on this because it's drone footage. So it's drone footage. But my God, Black Rose 11 sending prayers. Thank you, Black Rose, for throwing up the Streamlabs emoji. This is unbelievable. Yes, Connie. Yes. And this is on a loop. And you see some guy walking through the rubble here. Let me try to get that back. Look on the right side of the screen here. This guy right here with the sweatpants. Can you guys see him right here? Lower right corner. He's just maybe trying to find some of his belongings or searching for people. Look at this guy. Right there. Yeah, he's looking through his belongings. It's crazy. My God. Say some extra prayers tonight before you go to bed, folks. We're gonna end this in a short period of time with some prayers. Where's Joey Brooklyn when we need him? You got to get Joey Brooklyn on to pray. So this is the Brandon Clement Twitter account, weather chasing. The guy does unbelievable work. He really does. Here's another piece of drone footage by Brandon. And if you guys aren't following him, he has a YouTube channel as well. But look at that overview there. There's an oil tank up in the right-hand corner, upper right. And you can see these trees are just sheared off by the tornadoes. Joey, if you want to call in and maybe lead us through a prayer, that would be great. Audio only. I'm going to wrap up in about 5 minutes. I'll send you the link. Just look at this devastation. It's just mind-boggling. I sent it to your phone, Joe. This is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. If you go to his Twitter account, you could see these are all just photos that he took on the ground as well. And there's a car upside down. Kentucky Deb, a lot of love, a lot of prayers. She said, oh man, I didn't know you were on. DutyRon, the storm split right over my town. Well, anybody that was affected or anybody that has a story to tell, if you want to call in, if you're affected, there's the link. Anybody from the Kentucky or the 5 states, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, Indiana, anybody wants to jump on in, there's the link. I'm not going to pin it because I have the Red Cross pinned. So let's take a peek. Let me just look. I'm just looking through his Twitter account because He's got some really good stuff. All right. That's it for that account. Brandon does some great job. He does a great job. So Joey, I sent you the link if you want to come on. I have a couple more things I want to show to you guys. Here's some YouTube footage. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so here's another storm chaser that
I probably need to get in the safe room.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here. The volume is off now. Just a lot of noise in the background. So it's just somebody outside. There's a tornado in the middle of your screen. It's just going just right in the middle right there.
We've got a very active storm. Our power just came back on, but it's been off for a little bit. It's my garage, looking back up to the house, over the house. This storm is insane. There goes this other side of it. Wow.
My phone, you can do it. It does like a.
Thank you, Diane, for the super sticker. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. It's kind of creepy to hear it because it was at night. It was at nighttime. So when you can't see anything, it makes it even more creepier, you know, because you don't know when it's coming. And that's the crazy part about it. You know, Kentucky strong, says Bella Zoe. Absolutely. Kentucky strong. That is the sound of the wind. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just the utter devastation. Connie Carter, thank you for the Canadian $5. Thanks, Ron, for your coverage. Thank you for being here, and all of you. Joey, are you able to get in here? I sent you the link. If not, we can all pray silently as we end this. I have a little bit more. I'm going to look for that Amazon warehouse now to give you guys a little look at that. Here's the New York Times. This is the tornado map. Gail, thank you so much for the super chat. She sends in $5 with a beautiful picture of herself. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gail, for the super chat. Let me just see what the New York Times has to offer us. Stand by. Yeah, anybody that's affected, please stay safe. All right, so it wants me to subscribe. I don't want to subscribe. So it says map where the tornado struck, destroying buildings and homes. More than 80 people were killed by tornadoes across at least 6 states Friday night and early Saturday morning. Tornadoes were reported here. St. Louis, roof collapsed at the Amazon warehouse. Then they described damage in Mayfield, Kentucky. That's everything that we showed. And here's all of the affected areas. This is that 200-mile stretch. It's probably 200 plus miles. The red dots is areas. Look, there's one out here in the western southern part of Missouri. Looks like it's all over the place. Here's Illinois. Indiana, nothing. I don't see any red in Indiana, but I see a lot in Illinois. And it says St. Louis, the roof collapsed at the Amazon warehouse. And then going down into Arkansas, a lot of damage. This is just a huge area, folks. Just a huge area. It really is heartbreaking. To look at, they're showing you the before and after. So there's downtown. Before and after. Thank you so much for the super chat. Stacy G sends in a $5 super chat. She says KSDK News has footage of the Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois. All right, I'm going to go and look for that right now. If someone has the link, it would make it easier if you just send me the link on Twitter, at DutyRon on Twitter. Instagram, same thing. Facebook, same thing. If you guys could send that to me, that would be great. So New York Times has a lot of digital information. Oh, wow. Oh, let's see if I can get this full screen. I think we saw this already, though. Yeah, we saw this footage already. Still very devastating to see this. I mean, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone there. The cars are upside down. That's a van, or it looks like actually a school bus. Upside down. People walking in the street. Just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. The amount of devastation and death. It's just frightening. It's frightening to see this. Mayfield, Kentucky, December 11th. This is from Brandon Clement. He's got his drone up. Yeah, 22 hits, Lieutenant Jeffrey. 22. All right. Let me look for... Give me a second. Let me look for this. All right. So it's Edwardsville. Let me see what I got here.
Disaster turns deadly across the bi-state. At least 7 people in our area are dead from last night's storms, 6 of them inside an Amazon warehouse hit by a tornado. You're taking a live look now at the warehouse where the roof collapsed and walls came down. We just learned in a news conference within the hour that 6 people died on the job at that Amazon facility. 45 others survived and have been reunited with their families, with 1 person airlifted for treatment. And today, the rescue effort turned to a recovery effort. Good evening. We do have team coverage on the aftermath of these storms. Alex Fees is in St. Charles County with a look at the death and devastation.
Let me know if you guys can hear it well and the audio and video is good by pressing a 1 in the chat. If it's good, if it's not good, I'll just try to turn up the volume a little bit in the chat.
There. But let's start with our Robert Townsend in Edwardsville, who's been covering this since the very beginning. And Robert, we know that the latest information that 6 are dead is heartbreaking. But now, as we move into a recovery effort, I understand that we still don't know how many people could be missing.
Yeah, Michelle, that's exactly right. Right now, investigators are telling us they still don't know exactly how many of those Amazon workers are unaccounted for at this hour. Again, as you just said, the recovery efforts will resume bright and early tomorrow morning. Now, again, Governor J.B. Pritzker says this is a terrible day for Edwardsville and the entire state of Illinois. Just recapping for everybody, investigators now say 6 Amazon employees died just after 8:30 last night when a tornado ripped off a massive roof and stripped away siding and tossed around concrete pieces. All that in just a matter of minutes. Again, 45 employees got out of the battered building safely. Now, during today's news conference, you could see the sadness in the eyes of first responders, all of those Edwardsville officials, and even Governor Pritzker.
We're continuing to search the site for evidence of life, and we'll continue recovery operations until all personnel are accounted for.
This is a tragic day in Illinois history, and I would like for a moment to speak directly to the families whose loved ones lost their lives in this disaster. There are no words to assuage the pain of losing a loved one, and even fewer when that cost and that loss comes so suddenly.
Now, anyone still looking for their missing loved one at this hour can call this number. It is the Edwardsville Police Department. The number is 618-656-2131. Again, you're looking at that number right here, 618-656-2131. And Governor Pritzker is also asking the public right now, 2 weeks before Christmas, to pray for those families, all of those workers and their friends, all of those people affected by this tragedy. We're live in Edwardsville tonight. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Thanks so much, Robert. Let's take a map showing where the Amazon warehouse.
All right, so there's a map for you of the Amazon warehouse. It looks like it's right off of Route 255 in, I believe it was Edwardsville. So they're showing an actual pinpoint location. It looks like it's just outside. Kentucky, Deb, just hang out 2 seconds there. I see you in the waiting room. Just give me a second, Deb.
Is actually located. It sits just between Pontoon Beach and Edwardsville, and it is also in an industrial area. Other Amazon facilities as well as other businesses are in that location. An Amazon spokesperson released a statement saying the safety and well-being of our employees and partners is our top priority right now. We are assessing the situation and will share more information when it's available. And we can also tell you that Governor Pritzker said earlier in that news conference that Amazon has committed to providing every resource available to the community. Let's go now to St. Charles County, where several homes took a direct hit during the storm. At least one person died and 2 others were hurt. 5 on your side's Alex Fees continues our team coverage tonight along Highway 94 near Defiance, where people are starting to clean up after the destruction, Alex.
Michelle, good evening. That's right. After damaging winds blew through here last night, residents spent much of the day today working in cold weather conditions for cleanup. St. Charles County officials say they are asking AmeriCorps, the Red Cross, and the Salvation Army for help. All that remains is the foundation of this home at Highway F and Stubb Road in St. Charles County. A relative.
As I said, you heard Red Cross. They're always one of the first on the scene. They're just an unbelievable organization.
Says his 84-year-old mother died from her injuries and his 84-year-old father is hospitalized. First responders say the couple was blown out of their home and found alive on nearby property. The woman later died at a hospital. High winds also destroyed the garage and blew a car right out of it. Next door, the home of Rich and Marcia Vance did not fare much better. Rich says he and his wife took cover in the basement.
When we looked at each other, we didn't know what was happening, and we were standing at the bottom of the stairs, and I looked up and I saw the sky. I said, Marcia, the house is gone. And so that's when we first realized what happened.
Damage is equally as bad at the intersection of highways 94 and F. Several homes sustained major damage here. Saturday morning, utility crews worked to untangle power lines and restore electricity.
We want to thank Ameren and Quiver River for getting out here, and the only thing holding us back last night was the power lines that were on the road, and we really couldn't send our people out to start clearing the roads until they got here, and they responded.
Back at Highway F and Stubb Road, this formerly flat metal sign bears testimony to the strength of the wind that blew through here.
I've personally talked to several residents down here that said when they got those alerts on their phones, or when they heard the sirens, they went to their basements and they sought shelter. And I'm confident that it saved lives. So I'm just begging the public to seek shelter when you hear those sirens and get those warnings.
Officials here say further updates for St. Charles County residents can be found on the St. Charles County Regional Emergency Management Agency social media pages. Elman says crews are going door to door at houses that were damaged, inspecting them to make sure they are safe for residents to re-enter. Live tonight near Defiance, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
So that was pretty good coverage right there of the local news at the Amazon. So everyone was asking about the Amazon factory. Joining us is a great friend of the channel, Kentucky, Debbie in Kentucky. Welcome, Deb. How are you holding up? I can't hear you, but
Can
now,
you hear me now?
now I can, darling. I can now, darling.
Oh, thank you. I don't really have a lot of stories, but I can share with you. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. I sure
Good.
can.
Okay. My daughter, she's oh gosh, what do you call it? A licensed clinical social worker for rehabilitation things. And she said that one house, like with a lot of men in it, I believe it was around Campbellsville, Kentucky, she said, the roof was totally blown off. So all the men, I mean, it just like so luckily, our town has a new facility. Well, it's an old building they just remodeled to make it be a male facility for rehab. So since it hadn't opened yet, there were all these rooms. So they moved the men from that part of the state to this part this morning.
Oh, well, thank
So
God.
at least they have somewhere. They'll have to like find another program. Well, I guess they'll just go with this new program. Huh?
What kind of damage are you experiencing in your areas?
Not. It lessened, and we did get a warning. So I was up like a large part of the night. We got a warning, and it's just split right over us.
Wow.
So I swallowed on the radar. It was still going up and down above and up and down below, but not us.
Well, Deb, we're just so thankful that you're safe, and you know we look at the people who are less fortunate. So we give thanks and praise. We pray and give thanks to God that you know He spared quite a few folks, but quite a few are homeless right now. And you know, again, that's the thing is, right away I thought of the time of year. No time of the year would be good, obviously, for this to happen. But this couldn't have come at any worse moment. Christmas time, you know, COVID-19 and all the craziness that we've gone through.
Oh yeah.
So, but I thank you for calling in. There's a couple of
There's another story too. I've sent you a copy of the pictures of the family, and I don't know where I sent. I'm sorry. I just turned 60 today. I do the best I can.
Well, wait a minute. It's your birthday. We got to say happy birthday to you.
It is.
So happy 60th birthday.
Well, thank you.
Just remember, you only turned 29 once. So 60.
That's right.
60 is the new 29. So
yeah, I got tired of being 29 every year.
Well, I wish you nothing but health and happiness going forward.
Thank you.
Every year is a blessing, Debbie, and I thank you for your support and friendship on YouTube. It really means a lot.
I've enjoyed you and your mods and your people, us.
When you say your people, you're part of that. So
yes, us.
Thank you for being a part of it. Happy birthday, and So
that story.
When we get off of here, send me a message on Twitter, another direct message. Send me your address, and I'll send you a DutyRon pen again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that.
So
on what you call it, Twitter?
yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
send it direct so nobody else sees it. It's just me and you.
Right.
And send me your address. I'll mail it out to you on Monday.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Now the story that I read, it was on my Facebook.
But if it doesn't have anything to do with the tornado, I can't get into it here because I want to keep
It
it.
is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. It's there was a father. It didn't say about the mom, but anyway, it was a young father and I think two little boys. Yep, and a baby. I think a girl. Caught my eye immediately because I thought someone had beaten the baby. The face was just beaten so bad.
Right.
But it wasn't. It was the tornado.
From the tornado. Terrible.
Yeah. And the child, he thought to put the child in a car seat, and that saved that baby's life.
Okay.
But they all were thrown out of their house and into someone else's, which was gone. But I guess they just landed in their concrete and rubbish.
Right.
And they all survived, but really hurt.
Well, how lucky are they? You look at the. I just looked at the picture that you sent me, and the baby looks sweet. Yeah, I did get it.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna wish you a happy birthday because I want to
Thank
wrap
you.
this up.
Yes.
I want. Yep. And much love and respect from all of us here at Crime Time with DutyRon and all the whole family, the whole community, wishing you a happy birthday. Go and look at the chat because it went crazy when you said it was your 60th birthday. Everybody went nuts for Debbie in Kentucky.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, DutyRon. Bye-bye.
Bye, Debbie. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right. Gina, I think I'm saying it right. It's Gena. Let us know where you're watching from, city, state, or country. Hi, is it Gina?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I do. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm from Missouri. The sirens hit us and it was pretty scary, but we're okay here. But my whole entire father's side of the family is from Mayfield. So
Oh my goodness.
there in Kentucky, yeah, it's pretty scary. They're okay. 3 of them are in the hospital, broken bones. They made it to the basement just in time, but
Thank God.
sorry, I'm a little choked up. So
Yeah, no, I understand. Please, I appreciate you sharing these stories with us.
I'm just glad I saw that you were on and we're talking about it, and I clicked real fast. There are hundreds, I mean, hundreds of people swarming down there to try to help. And I was told personally by my aunt that's there that they're actually in the way. They can't rescue people because there's so much media and everything there that they can't even get to the people that need the help to get out of the homes.
My
So
goodness.
I just wanted to bring that to people's attention because yes, everybody wants the help and everything, but right now they're
You
trying
got
to
to
get
just
to the they need
right.
to
You
get
got to let the professionals handle it.
and they said that because we want to run down there, we want to help them, but they're actually helping people get into hotels like in Paducah and stuff like that. So that's actually been really helpful for a lot of them. But like I said, there's a lot of people that are unaccounted for. My family's okay. They're just trying.
What's going on, Gina, with the homes? They got down to the basement. Are the homes completely destroyed, or you don't have that information?
Completely destroyed. Nothing.
But they are
No-
alive, and
they are
that's broken bones can be healed. Thank God, right?
Oh,
So
3 of them actually hid underneath the steps, so they were able to get down there in time. But if it wasn't for them getting under the steps and having all the debris fall on top of them, they would
Right.
not have made it. Yeah.
Well, Gina, I'm showing full screen the mayor, Kathy Stewart, Onan. She spoke eloquently about the first responders, and you could see here, this is a complete row of devastated either homes. Yeah, it looks like private homes that are just now leveled. What we're seeing on the screen, it's just a miracle that your family are, alive and well in the hospital, and I'm thankful for that. So
were we, we didn't find out any information until like 3:00 this afternoon. So we were frantic.
Right.
Because we had no information at all. And they're elder. I mean, they're in their 70s. So one's in their 70s, one's and almost hitting 80. So for them to be able to even get there that quickly was amazing.
Right. Well, I can say this: I've seen the American Red Cross in action, and they've done some great stuff for, many tragedies that have happened here in New York. We've had plane crashes. Right after September 11th, there was a plane that crashed right next to Kennedy Airport in a community in Queens. And they were first on the scene to help. There was many homes devastated. Nothing like this, but the American Red Cross was there, and they were providing food, shelter, water, not only for the folks that were victims, the residents, but for the first responders. So, I got nothing but love for these people because I've seen them in action.
I have never personally witnessed like anything so devastating before. I mean, to hit home like this is just I wanted to thank you for bringing this to light because we've been glued to the TVs and internets just trying to see what actually took place, and I just happened to see you were talking about it, so thank you.
Have you are you subscribed to the channel, or you just came across it tonight?
No, I am a longtime subscriber, but
Excellent.
I just happened to see you were talking about Kentucky, and I was amazed. Now, Defiance, Missouri, that got hit is actually 25 miles from where my home is right now. So
Right.
we were
Wow.
pretty lucky. I mean, all night we were glued to the TV. When it said it was going down, 64 towards Kentucky, we knew right away that we needed to tell family to take cover. So they were sleeping. So
Right. Yeah, it was in the middle of the night. And Gina, I'm just, again, I can't overemphasize how important and how happy I am that, broken bones and stuff like that. Of course, there can always be complications and, maybe a long road to recovery, but they're alive, and that's the great news. So I'm so happy that you were able to report that to us. And,
yes,
if there's anybody else out there listening that wants to come on and speak, I'll stay on for another 5 minutes. But
thank
yeah,
you
go ahead,
so much.
Gina, go ahead.
No, just thank you. I just looking at these pictures that are on the screen right now. It's just wow.
Yeah, it's just, and you can see the path of the tornadoes because you have rows of homes that are untouched, and then
Amazing.
others that are just devastated, and you're seeing that right here in this footage. It's you've got some to the left that are not even touched, and then boom, that's the complete path of the tornado straight through. So there's going to be a lot of people shacking up with each other in these communities.
Yeah, they were actually in a duplex. So it's a little duplex off the side, close to the main strip there in Mayfield, and there's I call it no offense, but the elderly community strip because it's a little duplex there that has nothing but your elderly, and they depend on each other. So there's people that they knew that did not make it. So
yeah. And that's what we bow our heads and pray to. And tonight, before I go to sleep and before I end this live stream, we'll say a silent prayer. I was hoping I could get Joey Brooklyn, who's a Eucharistic minister, to come on and say a little prayer, but he's probably wrapped up. He's got his father just was diagnosed with liver cancer, so he's going through a tough time right now. So we'll say prayers for Joey Brooklyn's dad as well. Yeah, so terrible. Gina, thank you so much for taking out the time. And again, I know it's sometimes hard for folks to come up here, but that's what I like to do. Is we're a community together, and when tragedies like this happens, I want everyone to be able to feel comfortable to come up to talk about it. And I'm glad that you did. And if you ever need to talk more, you could go to DutyRon.com and send me a message, and we'll chat privately about it.
I will. Thank you. Yeah, we're still kind of in awe, so it's kind of all fresh.
Yeah.
So
Understood. All right, Gina, sending you lots of strength and positive vibes and prayers. So
thank you.
we'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Jeffrey, thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, thank you, DutyRon, for covering this. I put the link out again. I think someone was asking for it. Schmitty is here. Just let us know where you're watching from, your city, state. I know I believe you said you were in Kentucky. So let me just make sure she's all set up. I'm going to wait a few minutes because it looks like she's, I'll wait. Don't worry about it, Schmitty. You just give me the thumbs up when you're ready because I can see you down below. I'm going to you just give me the thumbs up when you're ready and you want me to add you. Schmitty, I don't know if you can hear me. All right. I'm going to assume that she's okay. Hey, Schmidt. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. All right. You got to do something about that because I'm hearing it back. It's not coming through your headphones. Hey, Schmidt.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm hearing it double. So you got to set it up so it doesn't come through your device and just comes through your headset. So let me see if that fixes it.
Is this better?
You got to set it up so it doesn't. All right, hold on. I know what to do. Give me a second. Give me a second, Schmitty. I'm just going to remove you. It's on my end. Hold on a second. All right, I think that'll fix it. I didn't have echo cancellation on, so let me just put that on. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop this. All right, let's see. Testing 1, 2.
Hello?
Let me just put that on. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop this. I'm hearing myself double. All right, let's see.
I'm hearing myself.
Hello? Let me just put that on. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop this. I'm hearing myself double. All right, let's see. I hate when that happens. I'm going to remove her and then ask her to try to come back in again. Just try to hit that link again, Smitty. I'm going to remove you completely because I'm hearing you twice. So I'm going to kick you out and then come back. Yeah, I don't know why that happens with StreamYard sometimes. I don't know if it's my end or the person that's trying to join, but I know she has something that she wants to tell us. So I'm going to share the link again and see if she can come on. But I'm going to play this in the meantime for the folks that haven't seen this.
Power, no water. And then 5 blocks away, we lost our entire city government.
It doesn't feel like anything you've experienced in this country because people say it does feel like a war zone. Everywhere you look, there's no power, there's no water, there are no buildings left standing. What's the population of Mayfield?
Our population is just under 10,000 after the last census.
All right. And so where are you housing? You said there are a couple schools and you're busing people, but what's the process right now as the sun has come up to get people to safety?
All right. I'm going to try it again. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm praying to God.
Come up to get people to safety.
All right. I'm going to try it again. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm praying to God.
Come up to get people to safety.
I'm hearing it again.
Right, I'm going to try it again. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
I'm hearing it echoing through back to me. Does anybody hear that twice? The echoing coming through? I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing it. Twice? The echoing coming through?
Hello.
Hi. I don't know what it is.
Hello.
I don't know why it's doing it. Twice?
Hello.
Yeah, so that's not working out. I don't know what the hell it is and why it's happening, but I apologize, Smitty. Listen, she needs to close YouTube out. It sounded like she had a secondary thing running in the background. So yeah, it's twice and it's no good. But this is just, this is from earlier tonight. This is the news coverage from ABC. They did a
Couple of
great
houses
job.
standing.
They did a really great job of showing the people of Mayfield and the devastation there. So I'll let this play just for another minute, and then we'll wrap it up. Joey, is there any way that you can call in, Joe? I did that, Kathy. I tried to shut my mic off. I know all the tricks, but she had a secondary source of sound coming through. So it is what it is. And there's nothing that I could do about it. And it looked like she had a headset on and everything, but it was just coming through twice. So you can't have that. Diane, thank you for continually sharing the American Red Cross. Greatly appreciate that. Let's let this play and then we'll wrap.
Everything you hear about when these devastations hit all over the United States, 5 blocks away, my house stands perfectly still. All I have is no power, no water. And then 5 blocks away, we lost our entire city government center.
Oh, my goodness.
So there it is. I'm going to pause it. So let's see if I'm going to pray again. Schmitty's 3 times the charm. She's going to come in. Schmitty? Bueller?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. I just wanted to
Can you
say
hear
thank
me?
you for covering the show.
Yes, I can.
Okay, super. This is
Hi,
not
I can
working
hear you now.
either. Okay. I just wanted to
Can
say
you hear
thank
me?
you for covering the show.
I can.
Let's
Okay,
call it a night.
This is
Hi,
not
I can
working
hear you
either.
All right, let me wrap this up. That was awful. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But she was so nice, and she wanted to just come in and say thank you. But all right, guys. So as I always like to end these shows, God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. Yeah, I should be hitting the Bueller thing, but I'm not going to do that. It's not the kind of stream. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. But all victims of this terrible act of Mother Nature. These tornadoes have ripped through these states and has caused devastation beyond belief. I mean, the pictures on the screen here are just horrific, and we could watch this for hours and hours. But what we can do is donate money to the American Red Cross, donate money to these people down on the ground in the different states that have had devastation. In Amazon, in St. Louis area in Missouri, the folks here in Kentucky, and anywhere else where there's devastation that we haven't heard about. So I'm going to just take a moment to bow my head and pray. If you guys could put some prayer emojis in the chat. I'm just going to say a silent prayer, and I'm going to ask all of you guys to please do the same for these people who are now no longer with us, and also the ones that will be suffering with no home or illnesses, as we heard Gina say she has family members with broken bones. So I'm just going to take a moment to pray, bow my head, and mods, just watch the chat. Amen. Guys, I appreciate you all taking time on a Saturday night to hang out. Prayers were said also silently for Joey Brooklyn's father, who is battling cancer. A terrible situation, but I know that he'll make it through. So, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all one word. And you can go over to TikTok and check me out on TikTok. I think I bounced over 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, so now I can go live there if I wanted to. Not that I will, but thank you for everyone being here. The replay viewers, make sure you share this video, like this video, and subscribe to this community. All of the super chats that I've got that come in here, I'm going to redirect to the right places for people who will need this, that are affected by these 22 tornadoes that have struck in the South Midwest area. All right, guys, good night from New York. And thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you to all the new subscribers, the old, the in-between, and everyone who is engaging with Crime Time with DutyRon. All right, guys, thank you. And I will see you on the next one. Let's take it away with our outro.